What a train wreck. I've been planning this trip for a couple of weeks. Picked this absolutely amazing stretch of early autumn weather, and life has intervened. What was supposed to be a 4-night trip has become a 2-night trip, and I've shifted the location to something very close to where I live and something that is more accessible and more well known. And I am hiking into Pharoah Lake Wilderness, a place I've been many times for 2 nights, but I'm here and I made it. And about to rediscover all the things that go through my mind when I go to places like this by myself for a couple of nights. So, yeah, listen along. Well, I got a later start than I'd hoped for reasons which I won't go into. And I've got about 6 miles to the campsite that I planned out for myself, if indeed it is not already occupied. And it's a little bit late, so hoping to get there with enough daylight to set up and settle down, all that stuff. All right, so, oh God, this is sketchy. These boards look like they're rotting through. All right. This little water feature off to the left here, it's called Grizzle Ocean. It's probably the smallest ocean in the world. And this little marsh and Phragmites, an invasive reed out here in Pharoah Lake's Wilderness. So usually I hike really slowly, and today, because I've got a sunset issue and I want to get to the campsite before it gets too dark, I just found myself going much faster than I used to. I don't know how long that can last for this 61-year-old. I feel like I'm kind of hiking more at a pace that was characteristic of my mid-20s eager beaver, my mid-20s eager beaver hiking stage. I made it. I made it to the lake. Took about 2 hours. Speedy Gonzales. I'm pooped. I think I'm going slow now. Arrival. I had to walk about an extra 1.5 miles to get to this spot. It's so worth it. 3 hours. 3 hours of hiking. That's it. The moon's up, it's getting dark, and I am not yet quite feeling one with the world. Maybe it'll happen, maybe not. First night out of 2 on the shores of Pharoah Lake.
I have one full day out here. I'm going back tomorrow. It's the morning, and I'm feeling very creaky. Um, I broke my hip about 13 years ago, and it's bothering me today. It's probably the second time it's bothered me in one of these trips. The advent of age, the increasing wear and tear on my body, um, and that quick 6.5 miles that I hiked yesterday. Um, yeah, can't quite hike like I used to. So I think this is going to be a very easy day. I'm gonna take a walk around the lake. It's about 5 miles looping around this lake, and camp here again tonight, and try to soak it in as much as I can.
Something about these hemlock forests are magical. And I could use the magic today, honestly. Feeling a little dull. A little dull. I need to shake off some sleep deprivation. Just taking this nice easy stroll around the lake here. Every lake has an outlet, and this is the outlet for Pharoah Lake. It's actually a little bit of a dam here. At one point, a dam was built here to raise the water level in the lake, probably about 10 feet or so, I would say. The lake is really low today. Not much water flowing out of the lake. I think I have yet to visit Pharoah Lake in early October without going for a swim. And this year's a little bit more iffy. It's probably about 64, sunny. The water's not too cold. It's been a really warm fall. Yeah, I just finished my hike around the lake, and I've really been kind of struggling. And yeah, the swim makes it just a little bit less of a struggle. Good morning. Day 3. I think I can start off by saying that food is important. And last night I was feeling pretty desperate. I went to bed early, about 8 o'clock, and I hadn't slept the night before and had been sleeping poorly all during the week for the most part. And I was just feeling kind of at my limits of discomfort, and sleep wasn't happening. I was lying in my sleeping bag, listening to sounds and just feeling all kinds of discomfort, mental and physical, and not sleeping. for 3 hours. And went into my bag of tricks, and I took 2 pills of ibuprofen, and whammo, within 20 minutes I was fast asleep and felt like the fog, the darkness, the despair had lifted. And I slept maybe 6 or 7 hours all told. And I think what is going on is that backpacking food is a problem. And I think I eat way too many carbohydrates backpacking. I'm not quite sure how to get around that. I avoid wheat for the most part. I avoid dairy. And I had carbohydrates for meals, kind of dried potatoes, polenta, which is dried corn, rice meal, and teff. And something about the diet just caused a whole lot of inflammation. And when I experience that kind of inflammation, it just makes my sleep impossible. And that's exactly what was happening to me. I just felt like I was going out of my mind. I was desperately sleep deprived and yet unable to sleep. And 2 ibuprofen tablets cured me of that. So here I am, day 3, last day. I'm heading out, back to the car, back to Camp Real World, and finally feeling on the 3rd day, my final day out here, like some of the stillness and the peace of this place and this experience has started to sink in and permeate my consciousness. The sounds are crisp, my mind is calm, unagitated, and feel like I'm just scratching the surface of this, but yet returning I am. Makes such a struggle to get myself out here to do this, and I experienced discomfort and resistance for 2 days. And on the 3rd day, the fog lifts, and boy, if I could spend another 2 days out here, I would most absolutely, certainly do so. The depths of time. That is one heck of a glacial erratic. It is a massive rock sitting right there, as it has been doing for the past, maybe 12,000 years. Moved into that location by the glaciers, carried by ice. The ice melts, the rock drops onto the ground, and there it sits, and life grows up all around it. 12,000 years. So yesterday I walked on this trail on my hike around the lake. Now I'm hiking out on the very same trail, but yet my consciousness and my awareness is in a completely different place. Yesterday, I wasn't quite here the way I am now. I mean, physically I was here, and but I was kind of distracted. I was in discomfort from not sleeping, and also it was only the 2nd day of this trip out, so I wasn't quite settled in. And now in day 3, a decent night's sleep, spectacular weather. I'm looking at this place in a whole different way and just seeing so much more. The sobering thing is that it took me 3 days to get here, and 3 days to get to this state of consciousness and settledness and peace and awareness. And I also know from experience that where I am now is just scratching the surface of what's possible. with time, effort, and intention and means, it is possible to go deeper. And our world of modernity outside of the woods, amidst all the workplaces and the highways and the screens and the meetings and the supermarkets and the advertising and the distractions, that world couldn't be better designed from turning us away from this kind of consciousness. It's just a matter-of-fact statement of the characteristics and the qualities of our world. I'm not sure there's a whole lot that can be done about it, other than on an individual level, trying to cultivate this kind of stillness and consciousness and presentness as much as you can, through either visiting wilderness areas like this or other means like meditation, other mindfulness practices. But it's hard to get here, no matter which avenue you approach this with. Really, really, really hard. Going slow the way home, way back to my car. About 2 miles left. It's going to take me about 4 hours all told with a full pack. And on the way out, full of vim and vigor. Took me about 3 hours the first day. Same hike. But I'm in a much better place right now. So this had turned out to be all that I could have hoped it to be, despite the first 2 days being a struggle, a bummer. Last night, I was thinking that this was going to be my last trip. I was done, too old, too hard, too uncomfortable, can't sleep out here. And I felt like coming out here was just a big mistake. Right. Yeah, so it all turned around. Here I am, kind of settled in stillness and silence. Attentive to all the sights and sounds around me. Everything I could have wanted. Thank you for following along.